So even the marshals couldn't contain this. So if you are desperate, you have to resort to lawlessness or lawless acts. Even if your concern is legitimate.
Will any actions be taken?
Yes, we intend to raise the Ntim Fodjour matter this morning. As for that one, we won't debate it. We will ask that it should be respect to privileges. Because a member of parliament cannot conduct himself that way, especially on the floor.
And let me conclude with a clarification, because yesterday I realized that your leader, the leader of the House, actually led the approval of the estimates. Explain to us exactly what has happened. Have you concluded the budget process with the approval of those estimates?
No, the budget is structured into various sectors and thematic areas. So when the budget is read, the committees of parliament have mandates to consider the allocations to the various sectors. So agri, education, health, interior, defense, tourism, trade, industry, local government, etc., etc. So it is the reports emanating from those considerations from the committees that we are taking. And when these reports are adopted, we also consequentially approve of the figures that they recommend to the House. So that is what we saw yesterday. But eventually, this will lead to passing appropriation, because in passing appropriation, every single allocation to every sector or every agency must be approved by Parliament. And so before yesterday, we had approved about 19 reports.
Okay.
And so yesterday, we are supposed to approve about 45 reports including the reports for the Office of Government Machinery. So as of yesterday, we have done 19. And if we add what we did yesterday to the 19, I'm sure we would have done so far about 35.
So after approving the reports, you go to appropriation. Exactly what steps are you left with?
Yes, appropriation is a bill. That's what we call the financial bill. Appropriation simply means a bill by the Parliament to approve of budget presented by Finance Minister on behalf of the President for the entire country's activities for 2026. If you don't pass appropriation, no agency can spend next year. So the appropriation locks down these amounts, sector by sector, department by department. That is why you normally hear the phrase that you have expended beyond appropriation. That is, for instance, if you are allocated 10 cities to spend in 2026, and you go and spend 12 cities, it means you have expended 20% more than you were allocated without parliamentary approval. And that's a breach of law.
Honorable, thank you. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
It's my pleasure.
Honorable ROCKSON Nelson, DAFEAMEKPOR, is Member of Parliament for South Dine and also the Majority Chief Whip, speaking to us. Yesterday, I saw him as he attempted to speak in Parliament. He was the very first person who stood up after a nod on prayer, and the MPP said no. And they started shouting that he would not talk. So it was the first person to be held up before he even got to the leader. The leader was actually was the speaker that drew the attention of the leader. The speaker that indicated to the leader that he wanted to hear the majority leader. That was when the MPs once again stood up and said they will not agree to Honorable Mama Yariga saying a word